Hi, I'm Nixie and it's PopInABox time. So, this is just a tiny bit late. And by that I mean it's about 2 weeks late. Uh, well, that is because I've been sick. I'm fine now, but for the past couple of weeks I have been really sick. So I may not sound fantastic in this video. Yeah, I'm not going to say the S word because I get in trouble for saying that word too many times in these videos. So, this is PopInABox. It did come when it should have. It's just been sitting, waiting patiently for me. And interestingly enough, this should be number 20 and 21. So we've actually managed, only with 2 figures a month only, we're up to 20 figures. And it's an odd number because I already had one and I didn't realise, had no idea about PopInABox and got it separately, which just goes to show you that I still like it even when I don't know. So I think we've waited long enough, so woohoo! And there are 2. Oh my god. You can never tell with the weight of the box what's gonna happen. So 2 sort of relatively themed figures by the look of it. So we have... It's Gremlins! It's a Gremlins figure. So the original Gremlins and probably more Gremlins 2 were films that I really liked when I was younger. I'm showing my age as always. So usually there's a nice series set of figures shown on the back of the box to show you other figures that are part of it. So like for Marvel Avengers, there would be different Avengers based figures. Not here. It's Gremlins, they have to be different. I love me some Gremlins. My favourite is probably one of the really inappropriate ones from the second film. There were some really inappropriate Gremlins in that movie. And Eddie pops. So, it doesn't specify which Gremlin, especially in the second movie, as opposed to the first one. There were a lot of very kind of specific Gremlins. They all had very particular designs, including one with a mohawk. This one has a very bumpy mohawk, which I quite like. Look at those little bumps. Look at the little designs on the skin. Little bumpy spine. And I don't know what this is supposed to be here. It's not a butt. It's definitely not a butt. I don't know what it's actually supposed to be, but a butt it ain't. So, there's little painted feet. There's little claws. So, he's looking at y'all. He's a gremlin. You don't mess with gremlins. So, yeah, that's really cute. Kind of a generic gremlin. He does kind of remind me, there's definitely one that had a mohawk, but I don't think that is him in particular. So that is really cute, kind of nostalgic. On that note, PopInABox, well, Funko Pop come out with a lot of new figures all the time, and if you're part of PopInABox, it's worth kind of going in once, maybe twice a month, to thumb up and thumb down new figures that arrive. And one of the ones that I saw the last time I checked were actually Dark Crystal. So another very old movie, a bit older than this one. Kind of a classic thing, and there were figures for that released quite recently as well. So if you're looking for nostalgia figures, Sesame Street, I've probably mentioned this in another video, there are Sesame Street themed figures as well, including I think a flocked figure. And we're back to Disney again. I've thumbed up loads and loads of Disney. Obviously Disney does have a lot of different kind of films and intellectual property, so Disney comes up a lot. I think it takes up a big chunk of the pop figures. So this is the Pumpkin King. So Nightmare Before Christmas. So as you can see on the back, like I said, Each kind of series has its own set of figures. So you have a normal Jack Skellington, Sally, you have the Pumpkin King, and what's called Nightshade Sally, which I've never specifically heard of. That's when she's trying to poison that one guy. I suppose that must be. She's Nightshade. Gotta love the use of Nightshade. I'm not condoning that, folks. Don't judge me, please. You've judged me for a lot of things already. Don't judge me for that one. So, boop. And you actually popped out really easily. So, funny enough, we have a nice big pumpkin head for the Pumpkin King. Little spindly hands. Those are very spindly hands. Look, I have very small hands, folks. Absolutely minuscule hands. This is ridiculously tiny little figure hands. And he's got his little Pumpkin King suit. Nice little kind of detailing on the pants there, the trousers. So I like that. I quite like that. It's kind of a matte finish. I noticed that as well with the Gremlin. They're quite matte looking, I think, compared to some of the other figures. That might just be me. It's so darn long since I've seen one. I can't be blamed for getting a little bit confused. So, there you go. And you can sit on your box. Or not. Just show me up, why don't you? Yeah, usually the pop figures are actually really, really good about standing up on their own, even though they have really oversized heads. But this one is particularly spindly in the leg region and a little bit too big in the head. So, unfortunately, he's going to faint. So, there we go. Figures 20 and 21. So, we have hit 20 total figures and over just by having a subscription of 2 figures every month. And these subscriptions go up to ridiculous numbers of figures. If I did that, I would have a house filled of nothing but figures, and I would probably end up on a show called Hoarders. I don't want to end up on Hoarders, so we'll stick with this. So that's nice that they're kind of, I wouldn't say they're similar, but I like the kind of juxtaposition of the Gremlins and good old Pumpkin King. There's my little Gremlin there with his little mohawk. That is very cute. So that's it for me. Interestingly enough, my Geek box is still missing in action at the moment. It's quite late in the month. It's a little bit unusual. I'm only a tiny bit worried about that. So you may get another video quite soon of that. And the food fumbles that I skipped over. For those of you who haven't seen that, I did a Japanese green tea drink, which could have done with some sugar, let's be honest, instead of what I should have done for my last food fumble. So I'll need to do that as well, and hopefully not injure myself in the process, because it actually requires some preparation. So that's it. So thank you all very much for watching. If you could like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, that would be great. Thank you very much. So, are there any classic films you guys like that you'd like to see figures of? Anybody like Gremlins? There must be at least one of you who likes Gremlins too. And I'll see you soon. Bye bye.